us. And I want to bring in Kerri Urbahn, Fox News legal editor. Kerri, this was terrorizing this country. And arguably, and you and I have talked about things that change people's focus. Maybe not their minds, but they become attuned to something happening. The entire country could see that the border crisis was a problem. Time after time, we hear such and such came across the border illegally and committed this crime, committed that crime. This one, the one of Jocelyn Nungary, there have been a few that have so captivated the nation because they realize it's so far from the border where these people are coming through.
I think that may be the most horrifying aspect of this entire situation. That is the complicity of our government in facilitating all of this. This individual crossed the border illegally because of our ridiculous border policies. He then was put up via taxpayer money in a hotel in New York City. We, the taxpayer, put him up. He then was put on a taxpayer-funded government flight to Georgia. We, the taxpayer, via the government, paid for that. And then he also, as we know, is a member of a terrifying Venezuelan gang that has popped up all over the country, again, because of our border policies or lack thereof. When we talk about the system failing this young woman, these are the reasons why. This didn't have to happen. And the reason it happened was because of this administration's policies and lack of law enforcement. It's unbelievable, Harris.
Wow, and we first learned from this trial that his brother was a gang member. And that's when we started, the defense was going to put up a case that said the DNA was too close to the brother. And then we started to learn more about their, both of these brothers and where they had come from. And everything started to become clear, at least to the judge and to the rest of the country who's been tuning in as we show parts of that trial. Please stay with us, Kerri. On the phone now, Paul Mauro, attorney and retired NYPD inspector. Paul, you've been there. You've been watching this case unfold up close. Your initial reaction to guilty, all counts, the monster that attacked Laken Riley as she ran on a morning at a 7-minute-mile clip. He grabbed her on the campus of the University of Georgia.
Well, first of all, of course, the evidence was just a mile high, and it feels like justice. But there is this, Harris, in addition to everything that Kerri just elucidated, had the original district attorney, who was a very woke DA down there in Athens, taken the case and gone for the death penalty, in light of the mountain of evidence, might he have pled to life without parole, which is the best we're going to do now? Might he have taken a plea deal, and the family would not have had to have gone through this? And so, the cascading series of events that just put a spotlight on what a ludicrous place we were in relative to DEI, our border, policies of the outgoing administration. I mean, it's just, they were all on display here in this event. And unfortunately, you get these crimes that are sometimes become iconic. They represent something larger than themselves. And that's not, of course, to diminish the importance of Laken Riley's life and her death. But, this is something that woke the country up. And it just became undeniable. And I don't think it's going too far to say that it played into the election, because prior to Laken, you didn't hear this sort of stuff.
Well, it definitely became an issue. I mean, I think of Jocelyn Nungary. There are a few other names. Unfortunately, they've become household names. Young women and the suspects, and then in this case, adjudication proving the guilt of illegal aliens coming across our border. What does it look like? So taxpayers now, for the rest of his natural-born life, are going to have to pay for him to get life without parole. What does it look like? Where do they put him? Are you familiar with that?
Well, he'll go to a state charges, so he'll go to a state prison down there in Georgia, and it'll be no picnic, and he's there for life. There's going to be appeals, of course. Those will be all but automatic. And the defense objected plenty of times. So, he preserved his right to appeal on various issues. My assessment is none of that is going to go anywhere because of how just, convincing the evidence was. But again, one of the other things we should recognize is as we speak, we are not only continuing to do the sort of thing that Kerri was just talking about, which is flying these characters around the country. Remember that the CHNV program, which includes Venezuela, we're flying people like this, unvetted migrants, into the country.
That's
right. So we fly them in. Then we fly them around inside the country, give them 3 hots in a cot, dental coverage, medical, et cetera, stuff that our own citizens don't have the benefit of.
Again, I'm asking all guests at this point who are in focus on this breaking news with me to stand by.